going to pick up action in the last game of the boys B match between the Cougars of Northeastern and Sable Valley, as leadoff bowler Charlie Arnold starts out with a strike for the Patriots. And we'll update you on the other scores as the girls' scores being checked right now by both coaches. The second bowler, Ryan Wood, leaves the 5-7 split. Leadoff bowler Timmy Supernaw gets 7, his first shot. Hand over to there where the coaches are again. As we see both coaches, Norm Bunno and Greta Lagoy, are checking out the score of the girls' match, and we'll get an update if there's any changes, as it ended up in a tie. Timmy Supernaw, leadoff bowler for the Cougars, gets 8 pins, as Ryan Wood ended up with 9 for his shot. Francis Fountain, 123 average third bowler for the Patriots, gets 8 pins, his first shot in the first frame. Second bowler Randy Gay comes high and he strikes. Well, Gay starts out with a strike for the Cougars, as Fountain gets 9 for his first shot. We'll update you on the boys A and the girls again as soon as we get them. Also the boys B, as we know that the boys won, the Northeastern boys won both first games, both of the first game. As Tom Zarplaitis strikes, Bill Stranahan gets 1 pin, his first shot. Stranahan, a 117 average fourth bowler for the Patriots. Chris Welch leaves the 3-9. Welch, 128 average fourth bowler, as Stranahan gets 6 for the frame. Welch goes by his spare. Anchor bowler Stan Bordeaux. Stan leaves the 5-pin. And anchor bowler Robbie Guerin. Guerin comes high, leaves just the 3-pin. On the handicap side of things, 271 for Sable Valley, 230 for Northeastern. It's a 41 pin difference, or 4 mark difference. As Stan Bordeaux spares. So with Arnold's strike and Bordeaux spare, the Patriots pick up 2 marks. As Guerin spares. So the strikes from Gay and Zarplaitis, the spare from Guerin, 3 marks to 2, with a 4 that's being spotted. It is a 3 mark difference. The Patriots up 3 marks. As Supernaw leaves the 10-pin. Arnold doubles. So 138 average Charlie Arnold begins the third game with a double. As Timmy Supernaw cross lanes for the 10-pin, he covers it. Ryan Wood strikes for the Patriots. Now we have Randy Gay shooting for the Cougars. Gay, who started with a strike in the first, gets 7 pins. Here's his first shot in the second. And Francis Fountain leaves the 2-4-5. Gay will get 1 pin, and so will Francis Fountain. So they both get 8 pins for the frame. We move to the third bowler, Zarplitis, and the fourth bowler, Stranahan. Zarplitis for Northeastern working on a strike. Stranahan shoots, he gets 7. Stranahan a 117 average fourth bowler, Zarplitis a 139 average third bowler, as Tom's ball goes wide, gets 3 pins. Stranahan shooting his spare, and he misses it. He gets 7 for the frame. Zarplitis gets 8 for the frame. And the anchor bowler, Stan Berto. Berto's on a spare, gets 7. Chris Welch, fourth bowler for the Cougars, crosses over and strikes. As we update the girls. The girls from Northeastern, there was a 10-pin mistake in the scoring, so they win 927 to 917 as both coaches check the scores over, found a few pins here or there on each score. Ends up 10 pins more for the Cougar girls. So it's 1-1 for the girls as they bowl the last game. As Stan Berto opens, Guerin leaves the 5-pin. Timmy Supernaw will start out the third frame with 6. Supernaw, 134 average leadoff bowler. As Guerin spares the 5. So each team will pick up 3 marks with the aid of Arnold's double for the Patriots. So it's 9-6, or a 3-mark or 30-pin lead for the Patriots. With 8 frames to go as Supernaw begins the third frame with an open. Charlie Arnold on a double gets 7 pins. As Randy Gay also gets 7. Charlie Arnold to shoot the 1-2-4 spare. And he covers it nicely. So Arnold begins with a double and a spare to lead off for the Patriots as Gay goes by his. Ryan Wood working on a strike. He gets 6 pins. And we're here at the Mart. This is the final game and our final match from the Mart. Hopefully we'll be bringing you sectionals. Will be our next televised match. As Zarplitis gets 8, his first shot here in the third frame. Ryan Wood gets 7 for his frame as he leaves 3 pins standing. Zarplitis going cross lanes at his spare, and he goes by it. And Francis Fountain will get 6, his first shot in the third frame. Chris Welch, fourth bowler for the Cougar boys, working on a strike, looking for a double, gets 7 pins. Francis Fountain shooting his spare. He gets 2 of the 4 pins. Welch shooting the 1-3-9. He gets 2 of them. And this is the B match. They take the top 10 averages and the top 5 Bowl A and the next 5 Bowl B. And they add all the points together, which is 8 of them. And that's how they come with the records that they have. As Bill Stranahan gets 7, his first shot in the 3rd frame. Anchor bowler Robbie Guerin for Northeastern, he gets 8, his first shot in the 3rd frame. As Stranahan gets 2 pins, leaves 1 standing. And Guerin gets his spare. So Guerin salvages a mark for Northeastern. Stan Bordeaux gets 4 pins, his first shot in the 3rd frame. We got 1 mark for Northeastern, and we have 1 mark for Sable Valley as Arnold spared. And Bordeaux has yet to shoot the 3rd. Arnold starts off the 4th with 8 pins as Stan Bordeaux gets 7 for the frame. So Sable Valley gets 1 mark. So it's a 10-7 or 3 mark difference still with 7 frames to go. As Arnold picks up his 4th mark in a row. He spares to begin the 4th frame. Timmy Supernos strikes to begin the 4th. And second bowler Ryan Wood leaves the 5 pin. Randy Gay leaves the 5-8. As Wood goes by the 5. Gay will go by his spare. Francis Fountain will get 3 pins, his first shot in the 4th frame. With Zara Plitus on lane 14. Tom's gonna get 7 pins, his first shot. As Fountain gets 6 for the frame. Zara Plitus goes by his spare. Stranahan comes up and leaves the 3-10 split. We're in the 4th frame of the final match at the Bull Mart between Sable Valley Patriots and the Cougars of Northeastern. Chris Welch, Northeastern's 4th bowler, crosses over to the Brooklyn side and leaves the 6 pin. As Bill Stranahan caroms the 3 into the 10. Nice spare by Stranahan. As Welch goes in the gutter. Anchor bowler Bordeaux gets 6 pins. For Sable Valley, Northeastern's anchor bowler Guerin, who is open with 3 spares, shooting his 4th frame and crossing over, leaves a 10 pin. Bordeaux spares. That's the 3rd spare for the Patriots this frame. The Cougars have only a strike from Superdaw so far. And Guerin will add to it with a spare. But the Cougars in the fourth frame will pick up 2 marks. Sable Valley will pick up 3. So Sable Valley moves to 13-9, or a 4-mark or 40-pin difference with 6 frames to go, and we'll be right back. As Supernaw begins the 5th frame with a spare, we welcome you back to Sable Valley Northeastern bowling match. Charlie Arnold starts out with 7 in the 5th frame. And Randy Gay gets 8 pins, leaves the 5-8 as Arnold gets his 5th mark in a row. Gay shooting his spare, sets it short, misses it. Second bowler Ryan Wood for the Patriots gets 7. And as Zarplitis comes up here to shoot the 5th frame, Tom will get 8 pins, leaves just the 1-2. Ryan Wood will get a spare. And anybody out there in our viewing area would like to join a bowling league or interested in starting bowling, you can call the Mart 297-6106, and we'll be happy to get you in or start you up next fall. As Zarplitis goes by the 2 pins he had, he gets 8 for the frame. Francis Fountain gets 7 in the 5th frame. Chris Welch crosses over and leaves the 10 pin. As Francis picks up his 1st mark in the 5th frame, all 3 bowlers for the Patriots have spared to begin the 5th. Welch going cross lanes at the 10 pin, and he covers it nicely. As Stranahan crosses over and leaves the 5 pin. As we have 4th bowler Bill Stranahan. You don't want that. Thank you. Shooting the 5th frame. And he goes by the 5 pin. We have Robbie Guerin going to end the 5th frame for Northeastern. Guerin comes high, leaves the 3-10. Guerin, who averages 145, at a 164 and a 146 his first 2 games. His opponent, anchor bowler Stan Berto, averages 126 at a 191 his first game and 100 his second game. As Robbie gets his first open of the game, and the Cougars get 2 marks. As Berto spares, the Patriots will get 4 marks. So it is now a 17-11 or 6 mark or 60 pin difference. Sable Valley is starting to pull away with half a game to go as Arnold leaves the 10 pin. Timmy Supernaw gets 6 pins. Charlie Arnold, 138 average bowler, hit his average the first game, 138, and had 147 the second game. Supernaw, 134 average bowler, had games of 124 and 123. As Arnold gets his first open, he misses a 10 pin. Supernaw spares to start off the 6th frame. We're tied up 1 game apiece in the boys B match as the Cougar boys won the first game 980 to 958. Sable Valley countered in the second game 932 to 911. So it's a dead match at 1891. A piece for total pins right now. Whoever wins this game will win total pins. As Wood gets 8 for the frame, Gay also gets 8 for the frame. Randy Gay, 145 average bowler, had games of 193 and 157. As Wood, 131 average bowler, had games of 124 and 150. Francis Fountain, who averages 123, his first game was 104, his second game was 141. Czar Plaitis, who averages 139, had games of 115 and 110. As Tom will get 4 or 5 pins for his first shot in the 6th frame. Francis Fountain goes by the 10 pin. Rounding off the team, Chris Welch at 128 goes 154, 145. And Bill Stranahan at 117 goes 130 and 123. So it's 1 and 1, and we got half a game to go. As Czar Plaitis gets 9 for the frame. Stranahan leaves 3 pins. As Welch leaves the 7-10 split. Chris Welch will be shooting the 7-10 split. As Stranahan spares here in the 6th frame. Welch, best he can do, try for 1 pin. Hope to knock it out and come around, hit the 7. Happens once in a great while as the anchor bowlers come up. Stan Berto and Robbie Guerin. Stan gets 1 pin on his spare, so he will lose a mark. As Guerin sets the ball short, he ends up with a 1-2-9. Berto gets 8 for the frame. So the 1 mark that Stranahan picked up, Berto lost. So Sable Valley gets no marks for the 6th frame. They'll keep it 17. And 2 marks are mustered up with the spares from Supernaw and Guerin in the 6th frame for the Cougars. So it's 17-13, or a 4-marker 40-pin difference. As we got 6 frames completed and 4 to go. To the leadoff bowlers, Supernaw and Arnold. Arnold leaves double Wood, the 2-8. Supernaw shooting the 1-3-6, and he gets 1 pin of the 3 had. As Arnold gets a spare, nice spare by Arnold. Needed to hit the pins dead on, and he did. And Gay leaves the 1-2, his first shot. As Ryan Wood gets 3 pins, his first ball in the 7th frame. Randy Gay gets 9. 8 pins for Wood for his frame in the 7th. As Zarplaitis crosses over, leaves just the 5 pin. After 2 games, the boys are a 3-1. The Northeastern boys are ahead 3-1 as the A team have 2 games under their belt and a big margin for total pins. The boys B are 1-1 and dead even for total pins. Zarplaitis spares. Francis Fountain will be shooting his spare. And Francis will get 1 more pin. He'll get 8 for the frame. After 3 bowlers in the 7th frame, we have 1 mark apiece for both teams. Moving to the 4th bowlers, Welch and Stranahan. Chris Welch gets 6. As Stranahan's ball goes in the gutter, Stranahan on a spare, he'll lose a mark. Welch will spare, so Zarplaitis and Welch spare so far in the 7th. Bringing up Guerin, the anchor bowler, as Stranahan will get 7 for the frame. Robbie Guerin crossing over and leaves a 7 pin. As anchor bowler Stan Berto leaves the 6 pin. Guerin will spare, so the last 3 bowlers for the Cougars have spared. As Berto spares, so they pick up 3 marks. The Cougars do. That gives them 16 to 1 mark for Sable Valley. They get 18, so it's a 2 mark or 20 pin game with 3 frames to go. To the 8th frame we go. And Charlie Arnold gets 7 pins as Supernaw strikes. Okay. Supernaw begins the 8th with a strike. Arnold will be shooting his 3-pin spare, the 1, 2, 4. And he covers it nicely. Randy Gay leaves the 4-pin. Ryan Wood leaves the 6, his first shot in the 8th frame. Gay covers the 4-pin. And Wood goes by the 6-pin. To the 3rd bowlers, Zarplaitis and Fountain. Zarplaitis working on a spare. Gets 6 pins, his first shot. Fountain gets 9. Francis a 123 average bowler, Zarplaitis 139. This is the Cougars' final home match. They're on the road next to Ticonderoga. As Zarplaitis gets 7 for the frame, Fountain spares. Two more matches. One is the sectionals, which is bowled scratch. There's no handicap. That's the way they do it when they get to the States. Everybody bowls total pins, no handicap. As Welch gets 6 pins, Stranahan throws a second gutter ball in his first shot in a row. Welch will get 6 for the frame. Stranahan to shoot his 10-pin spare. And he gets it. So nothing lost. Bill was on an open. And we have 3 marks right now for the Patriots and 2 for the Cougars as Guerin leaves the 5-pin. Stan Bordeaux gets a strike. So there's 4 marks for the Patriots. Gives them 22 after 8 frames. As Guerin goes by the 5. So we have 2 marks for Sable, 2 marks for the Cougars. They have 18 with 22 for the Patriots. It's a 4-mark difference, or 40 pins. Has Supernaw doubles, the first double for the Cougars in the game. Supernaw gets it in the 8th and 9th frame. The only double by the Patriots is the 1st and 2nd frame by that guy, Charlie Arnold. And Gay wiggles a 10-pin. Arnold shooting his spare. He gets 1 pin. He ends up with 7 for the frame. Gay spares a 10-pin. Well, Zarplitis shooting for the Cougars as Wood shoots on lane 14 for the Patriots. Wood leaves the 1-3-9. Zarplitis goes Brooklyn, leaves the 6-10. Nice spare by Ryan Wood. Zarplitis gets his spare. Francis Fountain leaves the 6-7-10 split. Chris Welch leaves just the 2-pin as Fountain goes by his spare, gets 7 for the frame. Welch goes by the 2-pin. Bill Stranahan gets 6. His first shot. Stranahan working on a spare as Guerin gets a strike. So the Cougar boys will pick up 5 marks with the 8 of the double from Supernaw. He'll give them 23 after 9 frames. As Sable Valley has a 1 mark right now, moving to their anchor bowler, Bordeaux. As their leadoff bowler, Charlie Arnold, will start the 10th frame with 9. Bordeaux will end the 9th. He's got 7. Situation's this. The Cougar boys have 23 marks after 9. The Patriot boys right now have 23 marks with Bordeaux to shoot. Bordeaux spares, they go up by 1 mark. If he opens, it's a tie ball game with 1 frame to go. Bordeaux spares, so it's 1 mark difference. Sable Valley ahead by 1 mark, moving into the 10th frame, and Arnold is already open. He goes 159. That's 21 pins above his 138 average. Supernaw, who's on a double, gets 8, leaves the 5-8 spare. Wood goes by his 3 pins. So Wood goes 108. That's 23 pins under his 131 average as Supernaw goes by his spare. Supernaw goes 150, which is 16 pins above his average. As Gay gets 7 pins. Francis Fountain picks up his spare. Gay spares. As Fountain shoots his fill ball, he ends up with 6. He gets 16 for the frame. That gives him 107. 16 pins under his average. Gay shooting his fill ball. He gets 8. He gets 18 for the frame. Randy goes 120. It's 25 pins under his average. And after 2 bowlers, it's 538 for Ausable Valley and 500 for Northeastern, as Stranahan throws his 3rd gutter on his first shot here in the 10th. As we end this match, we will update you on all 3 games. As Stranahan gets 8 for the frame, he goes an even 100. 17 pins under his 117 average. Hazar Plaitis crosses over and strikes in the 10th. Tom Zarplaitis starts out the 10th with a strike. As the anchor bowler Stan Bordeaux will end it for Ausable Valley. Zarplaitis gets 1 on his strike. Bordeaux goes by his 2 pins. He goes 135, 9 pins above his average, 126. As Zarplaitis gets 18 for the frame, he goes 119, 20 pins under his average. And after 3 bowlers, it's 619 for the Cougars. 645 for Ausable Valley. And Welch is up. He leaves the 5 pin. Welch spares the 5 pin. So this one will be coming down to the final 2 bowlers for Northeastern, as Ausable Valley bowlers are all done. Sable ends up with 870, 880. As Welch gets 19 for the frame, he goes 122, 6 pins under his average. And after 4 bowlers, it's 741 for Northeastern, 745 for Ausable Valley, with Guerin to shoot yet. They're down by 4. The boys from Northeastern are down by 4 pins. as Guerin gets 7. Guerin right now has 150 or better. So they will be over 900 as Guerin gets 2. He goes 158, and the Cougar boys will win this game 899 to 880. And we'll be up to recap the bowling in a moment. And as we're back here to recap the final home match for Northeast Clinton, Northeastern Cougars, the girls split their match 2-2 as Sable Valley had an enormous 11-03 their first game. They held on for total pins. The Cougar girls won the second and third game by 10 pins the second game and 9 pins the third game. You have a 185, a 171, a 502 from Carrie Arno, a 187, a 161, 491 from Shannon McMillan. Sula Bounty goes 186 and 450. For Sable Valley, Nicole LaFountain goes 203. Jeannie Bordeaux has a pair of 171s and a 487. And a 472 from Shelley Bordeaux. In the boys B, or the boys total, the B wins 3-1. The boys A wins 3-1. So it ends up 6-2 for the boys. The boys B, Randy Gay has 193 and 470. Robbie Guerin has 164 and 468. And Charlie Arnold for Sable Valley has 159, 444. And Stan Berto has 191 and 426. For the boys A, Jeremy Delisle has a 210, and Gooley has a 264, 245, and a 208 for a nice 717 series. That's Gooley's third 700 in league competition. As Dave McKee goes 519 with a 182 game for the Patriots. Corey Latterell has a 180 and a 178. He goes 521. So the boys from Northeastern win 6-2. The girls split 2-2. And that's it from the Bull Mart.
Hi, Danielle Rowe.